Hi, and welcome to another stream with me, Tunray. And I'm tripping over my words already, which is a great start. I'm experiencing technical issues. Bear with me 2 moments. It was all going smoothly until I remembered I wanted to record. Where's my controller? Now, I'm also looking for any screen tearing so we can get hopefully the best experience we can. It's not screen tearing, but there is lag. We'll record what we can and see how we go. Oh, except that doesn't record the sound. Let me... I would switch to Windows, but I can't do that yet safely. Don't need window capture. Let's add source play. Oh. That's not set up to do it in that direction, so... Aha! I think that's as good as it's gonna get, I'm afraid. Okay, let's switch over to being able to see what's going on. Da-da-da-da. I remembered this time. A couple of weeks ago, I completely forgot. Okay, so this week, Reforj. No, I keep mixing their names up. This week, 4J Studios has announced a brand new challenge. And let me find it. I know how Discord works, thank you. This week, your mission is to build your creepiest creation. Creepy creation. Let's see what I can do. Find their chat. Yeah. Right. Close that so I'm not distracted. Now the only thing I can see is my phone, which has YouTube open, or if I possibly get any people joining me. I will have to turn around occasionally. Right. First things first, I want to find a good location to start building. I'm keenly aware that I can't keep building mega huge projects without it affecting my location. Let's go with fly with me. Fly, let's fly away. Never let me sing. No, wait, you can see my other building in the distance. This should be good enough. Okay. So, creepy build, creepy build. So there's two things to think about. One is I want to make a creepy build, and two is I want to try practicing making trees. And maybe a Keyforge reason at some point. Oh, please say I got that right. I have difficulty with names, and I keep mixing up. I keep thinking JForge, but I think it's Keyforge. Yeah. Because it's 4J, but Keyforge. That's where my brain is getting confused. Anyway, so, plan is make trees. And I want a nice starting it. Excuse me. Got to actually build that. My pick block in this game is slightly different to the pick block in the game I've been playing lately. I've been playing a lot of... Hang on, I can remember it. Little Rocket... something. Dang. I've been really enjoying it too. There goes the tree. Oh. Right, now I've got a nice open field. I don't know what I'm going to build. I think I do want to build spooky tree, so let's go in with my basic choices. Get a red, a yellow, get a green. That helps me to differentiate the different sections I'm building. It helps me plan it in my mind. Ooh, I didn't plan myself a drink. And I will need one. What a lovely flat area. I may end up terraforming. But I tell you what. This just became a reach project. I could create a hidden grove and a spooky castle or a spooky house. I think that's what I want to do. That's a lot of work. So I better get to it. Okay. I'm gonna place a few quote unquote trunks. This is just to get my bearing and sort of give me an idea of the thickness of the grove. This one's going to be a three-dimensional build, and by that I mean some of my builds are designed to be looked at from one specific angle. I've got a cabin in another world. I think that build over there absolutely has to be viewed from one specific direction, because otherwise it breaks the illusion. Let's check that I'm recording my voice, shall we? I honestly couldn't tell you. Oh, I have not been recording my voice at all, have I? Has this one been capturing my voice? I hope so. Isn't that always the way? Not that screen, that screen. Have you been recording my voice? Yeah, kind of, maybe. I don't know if the two coexist. Well, my avatar's been flapping her lips. Please keep that in context. Right, I think having small trees is one thing. I need a couple of big trees as well. Sorry for the mic pop. I use a headset, like super basic. I'm also going to be flying backwards and forwards a little bit, just to sort of figure out the density. The more I can add, the better. But if I'm feeling particularly lazy isn't the word, I want to say inventive, I could potentially do like a backdrop, a 2D backdrop, make the castle unreachable. So I need to make sure that any trees don't go above the don't go above the hill line like that one is. But I still want to guide the eye. Let's put you here instead. Oh, there's going to be a lot of these little trees. Let's give myself a starting point. I like to do that in gold because, well, who doesn't like some gold? Would help if I didn't destroy the rest of the terrain as well. There. Okay, so this is my starting point. Put a castle on top there. I thought it was a way to, like, gesture. It is not. That's okay. I'm sure 4J will add some kind of emoting. Hopefully not in the, like, Fortnite dances. I've not got anything against Fortnite dances. I just don't feel like I want that. So I guess I do have something against Fortnite. Technicals. There's a lot of sticks right now. I want it to be like a barrier. Definitely do a fallen tree though. Yeah, like there. The more trees I can add, the better. Or the more illusion of trees I can add, the better. So this is my creative world. And in my creative world, I create things. Mini works of art, basically. Dioramas, statues. I'm working on a big dragon somewhere off in the distance. So I'm okay with these being very contained. Self-contained imagery. Boing boing boing. I hope the footage isn't so bad. Okay. Right, getting the idea. Ooh, I'm also curious. Will I be placing transparent leaves? I think so. Yes. Good. I know I've technically had some issue with transparency. I would need to fly over to where my dinosaur is to show it off, I think. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh no, these are good trees. Must have rendered in afterwards. Or maybe it's because they were placed before. Look, I don't know technical side of gaming. I can only speculate. All these trees are going to be very condensed. I'm going to have to do some finagling with shaping in order to give them each personality. And yes, they are all just red sticks right now. You've got to go though. You're in the way of my vision. Nothing against you, tree. You're just not a part of the plan. I don't really have a plan. Brush the paper and hope for the best. It's dense when you're looking at it diagonally. Great. It is sparse when you're looking at it straight on. Not great. We need to add background trees. Fill up all those lines best I can. Although again, they will just match sticks right now. Feels a little bit better. And then we'll have... It'll definitely be nighttime. It's just easier to do it during daytime because Tunnel Scouts aren't the friendliest of bunches. They're a little intrusive. You there. Break up as much of the sidelines as possible. Oh, this one's a big sideline. Okay, let's make this area super dense. That looking a little better? A little bit, yeah. Not quite all the way there though. Okay, that is the basic tree sightline. I think I should start pretty early on. See what's gonna make some good Might make a couple of those and change the time of day to nighttime and get an idea. Oh, there they are already. Want it moody. Ooh, look at that. Low moon. Perfectly moody. But can I do that the other direction? Where's that moon gone? Yeah, that's... Ooh. Okay, so we'll get a very bright side to these blocks. Get a few different ones going. Go up, up, and up. Green could work quite nicely, actually. What do the leaves look like? Way too alive. So what I might do is I might swap out the leaves for another block. Let's see how the various leaves... Birch leaves could work well here. I think linden's going to be too bright. Kapok, almost certainly too bright. Right, here we go. Hazel has potential. Birch leaf... Wow. Oh, wow. No, I don't like how they look. I want a more dead look. But the hazel is currently winning. Ugh. Still too bright. Bit too jungly. Hazel. We got any more bluey leaves? There's some dark oak. A little lively, but it could work. And elderberry. I think we want the dark oak and we want the holly. I think the holly is going to be the main look. This no block is way too bright. So I can try for birchwood. That's a nice light one. I'll try the other woods. Snowy pine is not it. I don't even remember singing that. Okay. Birch. Right. Looks like wood. Kapok. And pine. I think if we mix the kapok and the pine in the trees, have a few dead trees, have a few living trees. Oh, the dead tree. I need a couple of those, I think. But they can be leafless. Okay. But kapok with them. Oh, kapok. Pine. Pine with them. Birch can be dead. We will also have to do something with this beautifully green landscape. But I think I can wait for just a moment. Alright. Might add in some of those. this isn't going to be our feature tree, but it is going to be kind of like a, how do I put it? Template? Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch for a word. Okay. Then we're going to split it in half. I'm going to have it come out this way. And we're going to split it again. Have it up and over. Kind of like that. And I'll probably be splitting it again as we go. So when it comes to tree building, the best thing you can do is look at references. What I'm not doing is looking at references. Absolutely not a bright spark. Okay, and then this is where it's going to get important. You want to play with shape a little bit. Do not want symmetry. Despite it being a tree, there is no symmetry. Unless it's on fire, then it is a symmetry. Add in a few fun shapes. Can I put that there? Yep. I want more shaping there. And put it. Oh, definitely not that. OBS disconnected. Oh no. OBS reconnected. What does that mean? Uh, okay. We're kind of back? Maybe? I don't know if we crashed out or not. Trying to watch like the replay and I think we're good. That's still recording. That's still going. I have no idea what happened. Up, up, up. Okay. Where were we? This is going to be the start of it. And we're going to have a few dead trees like this. And I could try and play with some of the curved blocks. The issue with the curved blocks though, they only really work in the straight line. They're not so good for diagonal building, except for these ones. But it's debatable whether or not that'll actually be useful here. We could make something work there. It just feels a bit heavy. Like, how do I twist that from there? think for now we'll just play with the blocky shapes. That's not to say we can't add a little bit soon. So let's cut this shape here. And then I can bring it out some more in this direction. Kinda like that. I'm not entirely convinced. Okay, that's fine. That works out nicely enough. Let's cut a little bit into this tree here. We're just really playing with shape. I think I quite like cutting it as stairs. Gonna need a lot more cut off of it though here. My gosh, it's really quite difficult to describe the thinking process that's going into this. Add in a side. And even though we've done that, we're going to cut this. That, give it a bit of gnarliness. I feel like this bit needs some more depth to it. We're just going to cut here. And then I think I'm going to cut it there. Ooh, that does do something. Nice. It's, yeah, really, don't be afraid to just throw in some shapes, see what happens. The worst you'll get is something you can break down and build up again. Let's make this slab in the other direction. And I'm gonna break you there. It's not quite like playing with my headphones. Not quite like other block games. They have a lot more items, I guess. There's only so much I can do with these things. My marble stool. Can I just place them in? Oh, I can't place that there. I had a bigger arch. Maybe? No, they're only on the bottom. Okay. Not ideal. Not... Not ideal. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think that really adds much. Maybe I can add that sort of thing to another tree. And realistically, I'd love to hang some things off this. I just want a bit more depth. Don't want to take too much though, that's a huge chunk. Can I just sneak a bit? Yeah. Yeah, that works. And if you don't like that tree, that is okay. I'm not gonna spend hours on it. I don't have hours if I'm going to be building all of this. Let's see what else. I might use these. Can I use these? Yes, I can. Okay, good. I might use these as a sort of illumination. I think add to that cold light. Right, now gonna add in. Ooh, this could get tricky. Gonna add in the pine wood. Now this tree is alive, and I'm not treating them like pines. I have no intention of making them rounded. That would just mess with the aesthetic on the other ones. There is probably a science for how trees tree. And by probably I mean almost certainly. Yep, even here I want a little bit of extra. Ooh, but I tell you, I really would love that 1/8 block. Is that right? That's 50%, that's half. That's a quarter. Yeah, I'd really like that quarter block and the 1/8 block. Need a little bit. How are we doing over on the computer side? I have dropped frames. 149 of them. That's okay. That I can deal with. Is there screen tearing? No. Good. That I can deal with. Okay. So, with these trees, what I would want to do, what I would get it because it's right. I'm sorry. What I would like to do is place some of these darker leaves in sort of the middle-ish. That's not the darker leaves, this is the darker leaves. I've seen different people describe how to do trees different ways. one of the ways you can do is kind of like the Reforj way. We got clumps of tree leaf sections, but they've got different styles of how to do that too. Like, I'd have to find a pine to show off, but Reforged trees are really nicely designed. And look at these pines. We've got two different pines here. Here's one showing the leaves kind of like a Christmas tree. And the other one, well, they're pine trees, so they're not dissimilar. But you can see how it's layered. Multiple layers. Whereas this one's got rings of symmetrical leaves. Largely symmetrical. Which one do you prefer? I think I prefer that design overall. But this one feels just as iconic. Hi, Sphinxes. This one's definitely going to take me the weekend to do. Good thing I'm not busy this weekend. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm actually looking forward to my weekend plans. Let's sort of go around it a little bit. Give each of these branches 3 leaves. You're not really going to see the top of them, but they are transparent leaves, so I need to keep that part in mind. Okay, and just like that, I don't even know how that happened. Just like that, we have a semi-decent small scale tree. I really don't like that stool there. Small scale tree. Can I add to that? Like that. And now I don't like that. Let's not get hung up on each individual tree. But now, let's work on each individual tree. What have I done to myself? Let's go with... These could be handy as well. Okay, so you've got the cool light. You've got warm light. I'll have to figure out which one I prefer more. It might be a case of the cool light around... Let me see. Cool light around that tree. Ooh, but the warm light does give it a bit of a blood hue. Hmm. Alright, let's just make some trees. That's not where I wanted that. That is. Sorry. Yeah, we'll give this one a bit of an arc. Again, I can't make it smaller than that. Gonna give it a 1 profile then. Give some dark leaves for semi-shading. And we'll top with the hazel leaves. Where's my starting block? Here. Okay. That's gonna begin. Give it the depth. Gonna mess with the grass. I don't need to mess with the grass. I'm gonna be breaking that. Okay. Ignore the grass then. Does need... Maybe break that one. Ooh. Break that one. Add in that bit. And it looks like a small tree. Yeah. I'm going to go through and we're going to do each of these trees one by one. What I get myself in for. Who am I kidding? I love this stuff. This one's going to be a big tree. Already got the leaves there, so let's keep it going a little. Doesn't have to be 4 branches, but it does. Gonna compete a little bit there, so we need this to go up even higher. And kind of arc his back. Too much front. And then because it's arcing its back, it needs to weigh itself down. So we're gonna... Nice big chunky roots. Not a fan of how that looks. Bup. Dang. I was hoping I could sneak like a backwards version. I don't think I can. Yes, I can. I'm clever. Alright. Go. Something like that. That kind of works. And we're back to shaping. Put all this here as well. Not that I want that to be particularly visible, but it's going to be a little bit, I think. We're going to cut here. Then we're going to cut here. and raise that. Neat. Also kind of want to do more freestanding blocks, like something like that. Don't quite know if it works. Why don't you cut properly? Right, so when I come back to here, my starting point, and then look, yeah, that's going to give me a big foliage break. I'm definitely going to need to hide something in the gaps. But as I continue to build, I suspect that's going to come naturally anyway. Let's make you a little bit thinner. Let's do it the other way. Actually, put the blocks in the right place. That'll do nicely. Okay, we'll definitely put one above every time. As for whether we put any on the side, I could probably give the leaves some shape as well. I might round them. There. Like adding in you might be interesting. But if I'm rounding them, about something... Oh, I need to have a drink. A good time for a bio break, and I'm just gonna make sure everything's working. And I'm gonna pause what I'm doing, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Make sure you have a drink if you're watching. Okay, now where were we? Transition back. Womp womp womp. Magic. And make sure there's no screen tear. Because quite honestly, that annoys me. Make sure I can be heard. Yep, headset mic is working. So the focus on the shape is going to be on the front trees. But I am going to shape a couple of the secondary trees as well a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. See there? Can I put you like that? That makes sense. And if you're wondering, yes, I am attempting to go for even longer with the stream. I don't know if I can reach 2 hours. I'm quite worn out and all I've had is the spiciest pizza I've ever had in my life. You might be, but ton, how spicy can it be? Oh, it was so spicy. Apparently, it was made with Pepper X, which I didn't realize until after I was eating it. The Pepper X is rated the hottest pepper on the Scoville rating. The hottest. Yeah, I was quite surprised to realize that I needed a drink of milk with it, but it beat me in the end. I wasn't able to finish the whole pizza. Come on, there you go. It wasn't intentional. Gotta figure out like a safe way of disposing of it now. Need to get a hazmat suit. Can make you a stair actually. And we'll add in the sort of floating block there, which we're gonna hide with these dark oak. Not completely hide. It's good to have like transparent bits in your tree. Don't think it's particularly well shown here because I'm building quite densely. I wonder if it works at all. Let's go for a quick demonstrate. If I had, let's say I'm building a big tree. If I leave like that gap in there. Obviously there wouldn't be that kind of a gap in a real tree. There'd be branches that do that. But I'm wondering if that void space will go through. It's not particularly clear, is it? Can I say there's a difference between like that leaf and that leaf? Not really. I had to break a block just to find out. It is slightly less dense through that leaf. I don't think it's winning the favors. At least not right now. I think when it comes to a game like Minecraft, its leaves are how do I put it? It only has texture on the outside, so any inside textures are invisible and therefore see-through. So in Minecraft, you would have that one layer, and then any gaps would see straight through it. And that would allow it to look more built up if you leave a gap. And then leaves, because it would see straight through and see some leaves basically behind it. Whereas this one's already got leaves behind it, so... I guess we've all learned a lesson today, and the lesson is nobody's watching. So I'm the only one who learned. It's important for me to do so. I want to build some nice structures, nice builds, nice trees. One's going to share some leaves. Gonna have to put up with it, buddy. Right, it's getting kind of built up at top. So what I'll do is I'll just add an extra bit on top. Don't have to do that. Go, but it does have to cut there. Not sure if I'm sold on this just yet. It's probably markedly better than that though. That could be a way. Do as an example. I will consider it. In the meantime, let me drop down this one more. That. I think it's nice to have those hanging leaves. Moving around a lot, not doing much. I think what I'll end up doing is sort of putting this on in the background of conversation and just working on it slowly. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done by Monday. Even terraforming the ground and maybe building... Oh wait, these are bats. Ah, they're not... Oh my gosh, I hadn't seen them. Well, I'm not going to see them up close because they're not true mobs. They're not true entities. But they'll work wonders. I thought they were Wingulls. Regulls. Regulls. Not Pokemon here. Although I have had a thought. What I could do is... for the further back trees, make them darker. I know they're supposed to get lighter as they go into a distance. But I think darker... I'll give it a real think. But right now, big tree. I can build. Go. And I watch someone like Gemini Tay playing. She is so quick with building. She's one of the fastest like builders I've seen. Her work is always impressive. Not to put shade on any of my other inspirations though. Did I mention earlier? I think I did. My main inspirations for trees specifically are B-dubs, B-double-O, and Scar. Good Times Scar. Saying their names like I know them. That doesn't mean I build like them, but there's a whole process of adding in little details and just little notches here and there, just to give a build some depth. I secretly... Ooh. I quite like that. Oh, that is not where I meant to put that. There we go. Okay, change my mind. I'm gonna put that there, and that one there, and that's gonna be left as that. Might be one of the more complicated trees. In principle. Or theory. That's not where I meant to put that. There's something about this song that rubs me the wrong way. This piece of music. Not quite sure what it is. If I did, I think I'd do something about it. Such is life. Such is life. I was about to ask why this block is here, but it's here for some dead trees which I need to put in occasionally. Once I put the leaves on this. Pretty satisfactory. Need to make sure I've got some rounding going on. Well, I say rounding, that might come later. I mean, like, not making it a big flat surface. And if I am going to do some rounding, I might have to replace some of these blocks. They're not in ideal locations. I'm going quiet. That means I'm wearing down. I'm not going to rush to end the stream, but it means I'm going to have to think about ending it earlier than 2 hours. You don't mind that, do you? Imagine trying to have to sit through 2 hours of me jibber-jabbing away. Didn't you have a jibber-jabber toy? I think they're called jibber-jabbers. We have a nice little tree here. And I mean little. Ah, you are a thing. A leaf. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I would say things are going pretty well. How about you, Reginald? Oh. Reginald, why don't you talk to me these days? Do you have to be like that? Reginald, I only killed a few of your friends. Okay, quite a few of your friends. Reginald just isn't on speaking terms with me. Look, it's not my fault. I had a lot of aura. And the tunneler scouts like aura. So I got buffed one too many times and I fought back. Oh, the bats look majestic in the moonlight. Okay, let's put in a dead tree here. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like the perfect place for one. There. And then again. Again. Oh no, that's something else. My Discord is still open. I don't know if my Discord is recording. Discord is quiet on there. So you shouldn't have heard it. And my recording has now got a big old image of my screenshot in it. Discord is not recording. Good. Ugh. Complicated stuff. Am I dropping more packets or is it just struggling to render my little dancing avatar? It doesn't need to be dancing. It's off screen. We'll go with like that. That might be the best I can do for that. I'm starting to rethink this texture. It might be too bright. I know we did tests, but I've forgotten what the results were. Doesn't scream dead to me, though. Do I have anything in... Oh, the marble. I have plans for that marble. Don't judge me. You don't know what my plans are. Oh, that has no texture, though. I'll stick with the white for now. Guess it's good for the forest to have diversity anyway. And we'll go back to planting trees. Fine word. Got all this junk here. Let's... Oops. Move the junk out the way. Oh my gosh, my brain. Okay, and everything else is here, basically. So now it's just a matter of placing in trees until I get the effect I want. Car outside my window. I'm surprised you can't hear those things. I must put the noise gate on pretty effectively. No screen tear. Good. Next week, I'm going to announce this stream. No, not next week. I don't think I can do streaming next week. Oh, and then the week after I'm not here for streaming. Well, they go all of my plans immediately. That was incredible. How quickly they just shrunk away. Okay, well, conceptually... Oh my gosh. Bam, this just ain't it. Brother, this might be it for the stream. Alright, so let me try and talk about... I need to advertise this stream in the Reforj server. They do not need to watch me play Reforj. There's absolutely none of that. But I don't know, maybe it'd be interesting to get some feedback. Have a look at some things. There's a lot of bats. Work on challenges together. Community support, you know? I like this tree being quite thick, actually. And get this branch coming out this way. Oh, that's not the branch I wanted. That way. oak tree. Going to put it like that. And do one there. And we'll have the hazel trees over top. Hazel leaves. Yeah, you know what? It's been an hour and a half. Just a solid length stream. I want to build on doing longer streams. But I can only do so much right now. We shouldn't let our limitations get to us. But sometimes we do have limitations. And that is okay. Limitations can help us to create some of the most profound works. Like Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, I believe it was Ryan Reynolds, has said that Deadpool probably wouldn't have been as good as it is without the really tight budget it was given. That tight budget really helped it. Done it again with the leaf. Yep, okay, so I'm phasing off. I need to sign off. I've had a good stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, this is the progress we've made so far. Actually kind of looks like a lot from this distance. Don't know if it feels a lot, but it looks a lot. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, if you've made it this far. And I hope to see you in 3 weeks' time. No promises, but I think the first Friday of November I'm out. And then that'll leave the second Friday, which will be the 14th. Jeez. That is not a lot of time left. And as you can imagine, I probably won't be doing that much in December. Oh gosh, time is running out. Right, okay. So, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye. Johnny.